Back in the 90s, cracked the AOL code, text and turned gold, now the stories unfold. From dial-up dreams to LinkedIn kings, he taught the world how to build through strings. It's the Max method, no guessing, just growth. 4 steps deep, he's coached them both. Top earners, big burners, trainers and pros. Max lit the fire, now everyone knows. Started with a spark, now the blueprint's live. Thousands trained and they multiply. From Facebook chats to LinkedIn leads, he plants the seeds, then watches them succeed. Mentor to coach is the guide for the great. Author, speaker, shaping fate. You don't just follow Max, you duplicate. That's how legends elevate. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Calling the father the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Calling the father the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night live broadcast. And a lot of things are taking place on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and this weekend we were supposed to have our winter top earner retreat, and we'll get into why we didn't have it. Got a lot of new things that I want to share with all of you. So first and foremost, I want to say hello to all of my friends that are watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or on my YouTube channel. Also want to welcome all of my friends, my students, and their guests that are on this live Zoom. Tonight I'm going to be sharing and talking about information on some new subjects that, if you've taken some of my advanced classes, you're familiar with, and even if you're familiar with them, everything is changing. Going to give you a sneak peek at some of the things that are going to be released for the first time. And, you know, for easily the last 6 or 7 months, I have been talking about artificial intelligence, AI. And, you know, it's phenomenal. It's a wonderful tool. It can really help you build your business. It can save you time. All right, now, let's jump into this. Let me see if I can pull this up. Is this? It's good to see if this is going to work. Because we're going to talk about it tonight. And we're going to be talking about our Tiger bot. I got to work on it. Okay, buddy. Back. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about how top earners engineer momentum before the month gets away from them. Let me just see who's here. All right. So let me ask you something important. Have you ever started a new month feeling motivated, determined, excited? And then by the 10th, you're already playing catch up? I had an interesting coaching session with a student on Friday. And, every time we do a session, he falls behind. But he's busy. He's got two optical practices. He's jumping back and forth. And some of the things that are required for you to build your business can be tedious, searching for prospects, making those initial connections. And that is where AI can really, really help you. But this is what happens. You're excited at the start of the month, but 10 days into the month, you're behind. To be honest, most network marketers don't lose the month at the end. They lose it in the first 5 days. Today, it's the first day of March, and you got 31 days. So the obvious question that I would ask you is how'd February go for you? How'd January go for you? They lose it in the first 5 days, not because they lack desire, not because they lack belief, not because they lack work ethic. They lose it because they lack structure. Hope is not a strategy. Posting randomly is not a strategy. Messaging when you feel like it is not a strategy. Waiting for momentum is not a strategy. Top earners do something very different. They don't start the month emotionally. They engineer it. They know their numbers. They know their pipeline. They know how many conversations they must create. They know how many follow-ups must happen. They know how many presentations must be scheduled. And in today's environment, they also know how to use AI intelligently, not to replace relationships, but to multiply their leadership. Tonight, I'm going to give you something very special. Not hype, not motivation, not theory. I'm going to show you the structure serious leaders use to create predictable momentum in 30 days. Because here's the truth. The month will move forward whether you lead it or not. The only question is, will you drift or will you architect a proven business building structure? Let's build your 30-day leadership game plan. So we're going to talk about how top earners engineer momentum. They focus on structure over motion, metrics over motivation, and architecture over activity. Leadership over luck, This session is about leadership discipline, not hype, not wishful thinking, not this is going to be my month. This is about engineering the next 30 days so your results are predictable, not accidental. Top earners don't drift into rank advancement. They design it. So why do most network marketers lose the month early? Most people lose the month in the first 5 days. What that means by Thursday. No written target, no daily metric, no pipeline structure, no follow-up calendar, no AI leverage. They don't lose the month at the end. They lose it in the beginning when there's no structure. Your daily activity, your schedule. They rely on emotion, and emotion fades. Now, hope is not a strategy. Hope is emotional. Strategy is measurable. Posting is not planning. Messaging randomly is not structure. And waiting for momentum is not leadership. You can't hope your way into rank advancement. Hope doesn't scale. Structure does. Activity without architecture is exhaustion. So you don't have an effort problem. You've got a structure problem. There are certain things that you need to be doing on a daily basis, whether you like it or not. Amateurs start the month emotionally, leaders start the month strategically. The 4 numbers that are going to determine your rank: new conversations, follow-ups, how many presentations are you given, and how many people are you signing up in the business. Rank is math. Every rank can be reverse engineered. When I work with my coaching students, when we go to figure out the numbers for the project launch script, you break it down. If you want 5 enrollments, you need X presentations. To get X presentations, you need Y follow-ups. To get Y follow-ups, you need Z conversations. Rank advancement is math, not magic. If someone wants 5 enrollments in a month, they likely need 15 to 20 conversations a day at 75 to 100 a week. 10 to 15 follow-ups a day, that's 50 a week to 75. 3 to 5 presentations a day, that's 15 to 25 a week. Every rank can be reverse engineered. Now, one of the things we talk about in our retreat is how you can give 3 or 4 presentations in one day is by having an event. So we're giving a presentation to 3 people at the same time. Reverse engineering, start with the target, your income goal, your enrollment target, your presentation target, your conversation target. Engineer backwards. Top earners don't try hard, they reverse engineer. They decide the outcome first, then build the activity behind it. So the first 7-day power window, week 1, pipeline creation. And we're going to dive into what that entails. Aggressive outreach, book presentation blocks, seed follow-ups, build visible activity. Now, for those of you that are engaged in your own 90-day game plan, there's overlap. So while every week you're doing this, there's activity layers on top of this. Front load momentum. The first 7 days determine the last 7 days. If you wait until week 3 to build momentum, you're already behind. Pipeline before pressure. Pipeline eliminates panic. No pipeline equals desperation. Pipeline equals confidence. There is a structure. There are activities that you have to be engaging in on a regular, predictable basis. Activity creates options. When you have no pipeline, you feel pressure. When you have a full pipeline, you feel power. You don't have to keep talking to the same people. Once you get into the rhythm, once you get into the pattern, and you know this person is a perfect prospect, and this person that I thought was a perfect prospect is no longer a perfect prospect, you stop talking to them because you've got a pipeline filled with all kinds of people. AI as a leadership multiplier, AI should increase precision, personalization, speed, consistency, and preparation. AI does not equal automation spam. It equals intelligent leverage. There are things that you're going to use it for, and then there are things that you absolutely want to stay away from. AI doesn't replace leadership. It multiplies disciplined leadership. Used correctly, AI helps you research better, communicate better, follow up better, and train your team better. So you can go from producer to architect because you have to design and create your own structure. Producers react, hustle, and chase. Architects plan, track, design, and duplicate. At some point, you must decide, are you a producer or are you an architect? The 4-week leadership cycle is this. Week 1, pipeline creation. Week 2, present and enroll. Week 3, train and duplicate. Week 4, follow up and finish strong. This is an overview. Leadership lives in cycles. This is the rhythm. Every month has a cycle. If you live in chaos, you react. If you live in cycles, you lead. Duplication is designed, not hoped for. When you bring somebody into your business, there are certain things that you could do almost immediately that will get you new recruits talking to people. Scripts, systems, templates, AI tools, clear onboarding. When you bring somebody into your business, you want to get them going within the first 72 hours. Duplication requires design. Your team will only duplicate what's structured, not what's inspirational. Momentum is engineered. Momentum equals clarity, metrics, consistency, and follow-up. Momentum isn't luck, it's leadership, discipline, repeatedly, daily. So why framework alone doesn't execute? Information does not equal implementation. Execution requires accountability, structure, customization, and feedback. This is where most people stall. They have information, but they don't have structure. When it comes to installing structure, structure creates confidence, predictability, authority, duplication, and scale. Duplicates like crazy. I give all of my students in boot camp scripts. The first message, second message, the icebreaker, the third message that starts a conversation that must be followed every day. Every day. You treat everybody the same and you'll get outrageous results. And the people that you bring into the business will feel comfortable because they've got to be doing the same thing. When structure is installed, confidence rises, and confident leaders create momentum. When you bring someone into your business, they are thinking, as you're showing them the business. Can I do what he does? Can I see myself doing what this person is doing to me? And it's so important that you follow the structure. Your decision point, drift or design. Now, what do I mean by design? You know, you're all in different businesses. There are things that are going to be relevant to your particular audience. I'm giving you the template. I'm giving you the framework. And it's up to you to modify it, adapt it to fit your particular market. The next 30 days are going to pass either way. So you can try to implement this alone, or you can step into structure. The month will move forward either way. The only question is, will you architect? Leadership is a decision, not a title. There are two types of people in network marketing: those who consume information and those who install structure. In other words, you got to put it to work. The first group stays busy. The second group rank advances. The difference is in intelligence. It's identity. Why does this work? Because people act in alignment with identity. If they see themselves as serious leaders, enrolling becomes consistent with their self-image. Imagine it's 30 days from now. Where do you want to be? One version of you started strong, got distracted, played catch up, finished frustrated. Another version of you had structure, had metrics, accountability, rank advanced. Now, both versions exist. So why does it work? It creates contrast between pain and progress without pressure. Imagine it's 30 days from now. Which one are you stepping into tonight? Now, our boot camp starts on Thursday, and we have loaded it up with AI information. In fact, let me do this. Let me put in the chat I'm going to give you the links right here. All right, the first link is for boot camp. You can go to maxsteingart.com/bootcamp. Use the promo code Best Deal. It'll drop the price. 4 sessions, starts on Thursday. Then we have our 90-day boot camp challenge. And if you use the promo code I got the wrong promo code in there, so bear with me for just a second. Use the promo code Best Deal, and it'll drop the price to $139. Actually, it drops the price to, I think, $46 a boot camp. Then we've started an advanced boot camp. And if you go to maxsteinhardt.com/advanced BC, there's a special promo code that will drop the price. Now, this weekend, we were supposed to be conducting our top earner winter retreat. And we had our first advanced boot camp. And to tell you the truth, initially, I was really concerned about the effectiveness and the duplication factor of using AI. And I've already checked out 16 different AI promoters. And we have a record now, we're up to 30 people, 30 students that have written in to customer service that their accounts on Facebook or LinkedIn have been locked up because they were using some kind of automated system. So you got to be very, very careful. So we're rescheduling the winter retreat. And then our next one would be our spring retreat. And the first day of spring is March the 20th. So again, when I looked at all the things that you all need to know, and I wanted to simplify it, hey, it's a changing world. So we're going to be retiring the retreat concept. And on the 20th of the month, we're going to have our top earner leadership summit. And that is where we're going to be releasing for the first time our 30-day leadership game plan. Now, parts of it are going to be incorporated in boot camp, but the actual document is going to be released for the first time in our leadership summit. And I have to tell you, I've already talked to 5 friends that are icons in the industry, and they've all expressed an eagerness to participate, share what they're doing, how they're applying AI in the systems that they're using to build the business. This is something that, we're just putting it together now. And by Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll have complete information about it. And coming in March, initially, we were going to be calling it TigerBot. And the landscape for all of these bots is changing. The current hot terminology is claws. So the Tiger Claw, I hope to be in a position to release it before the end of the month. And we'll be talking a little bit about that. In fact, let me come over and show you so the Tiger Claw is going to step everybody through as easy and simply as possible. You can't order it yet. I mean, this is the way bots work. You set it up. We're making it as simple and easy as possible. Help you identify who your ideal customers are. And then there is the API connection, which is like your passkey. And then you're going to use AI. We're going to show you exactly which systems that you want to work with. It lays it all out for you. But let me get down to the exciting part. We're going to show you different ways that you can harvest and scrub websites. And we're going to introduce you to a concept called the flywheel, which is 2 generations up over sales funnels. Now, a lot of this, you know, when you look at this, a lot of this, for those of you that are students, it's what I've been teaching, but the language is a little different. You got your first contact, the nurturing process, converting them, closing them. And we're breaking it down where literally you can target specific professionals. Now, let me just say, this is not for everyone, okay? Because to tell you the truth, you really don't need it, okay? I mean, the basic fundamentals, you know how to search. But we're literally covering every part of the we're still loading it up. And we're breaking it down by area. Depending we have a number of students that are in different parts of the world, and they're going to be and when you say the last link doesn't drop the price, which one are you talking about? All right. So this is coming. Advanced BC. Um, it'll be fixed by 12 noon tomorrow. All right, let me come back. Now, boot camp is for builders, not browsers. This program isn't for everyone. It's for people who are ready to install structure, because structure creates predictability, and predictability creates income. If you're not ready for that level, it's okay. But if you are, now is the moment. You know, when I look at your profiles, I bring them up and I can see what your activity is. Now, granted, I've made the price so low to participate in these boot camps that you can pick up information. But if you're not going to use it, what's the point? Information doesn't change income. Implementation changes income. Every day, I am going to be bringing up examples of people that are reporting in. I signed up 3 people last week. I signed up 14 people last month. Now, it's not like they logged on and reached out to 14 people and went through a back and forth, and signed them up. It's a process. You're planting seeds. Every connection that you make is a seed that you're planting in your garden of prospects. And what we've proven since January is that at least a third of the people that you're already connected to are prospects that you could resurrect with a message. Implementation requires ownership. Boot camp is where ownership begins. The cost of structure is small. The cost of drifting, another 90 days. I mean, where do you want to be 90 days from now? That's expensive. Install the structure in boot camp, secure your position. Leadership implementation is intensive in our upcoming boot camps. We're reducing the content. We're going to be focusing on very, very narrow scripts, searches. Leaders don't work for certainty, they create it. If you're ready to lead your next 30 days, the next step is clear. If you combine these, conversions rise because identity is activated, future contrast is clear, authority positioning is elevated, scarcity is implied, ownership is emphasized, value is stacked, and pressure is minimized. It feels strong, not desperate, whenever you're talking to people. Oops. How many of you have ever started a month with real intention, only to find yourself reacting instead of leading by the second or third week? Be honest, it's not a motivation problem, it's a structure problem. Structure is what separates producers from leaders. So there are 2 types of people in network marketing: those who consume information and those who install structure. The first group stays busy, the second group rank advances. The difference isn't intelligence, it's identity. Now imagine something with me. Fast forward for 30 days from tonight. One version of you. You meant to implement it. You tried to stay consistent, but life got busy. Momentum faded. You're still working on it. Another version of you had a written plan, had metrics, had accountability, had AI tools supporting you, built pipelines early, finished strong, rank advanced. Both versions are possible. The only difference is the decision that you make tonight. Because information does not change income, implementation does, and implementation requires ownership. That's exactly why I created the boot camp. Boot camp isn't another training, it's a leadership implementation intensive. Inside it, we don't just talk about theory, we install structure. We will help you reverse engineer your rank and goal. We help you build your pipeline plan. We create your follow-up system. We customize AI prompts for your niche, and we design duplication tools for your team. We track the 4 numbers that determine your income, but it's up to you to implement it. Structure creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates activity, and activity creates momentum. Momentum creates rank advancement. And here's something important. It's not for everyone. It's for builders, it's for professionals who are tired of reacting. It's for leaders ready to architect. And if you're not ready for that, it's okay. Now, I am about to open the floodgates to my boot camps. And once we release the Tiger Claw, all hell is going to break loose. My boot camps are going to be filled. We're going to have to cap the numbers of people that participate. But if you are ready, now is the moment. The cost of structure is small. The cost of drifting, that's expensive. I don't say that emotionally. I say it strategically. The next 30 days are going to pass either way. You can try to implement this alone, or you can install structure. It's the wrong stuff. All right. So, look, here's the bottom line. For many of you, boot camp is exactly what you need. But there's another group here tonight, and you know who you are. You're not struggling with effort. You're not struggling with belief. You're not even struggling with activity. You're thinking bigger. And I'm talking to my coaching students. You're in coaching because you want scale, you want authority, you want positioning, you want precision, you want intelligent leverage at a higher level. At a certain point in this profession, the challenge is no longer information, it's refinement, optimization, it's strategic leadership. And that's why I work privately with a small number of serious leaders inside my coaching program. These are not courses, it's direct strategic advisory. Now, I've started, things are changing. And one of the issues that we've had for the last probably 2 years is we've been limited to the number of people that we could communicate with via email by our CRM. In other words, if you hadn't opened our mail in the last year, you fell off of our list. So we've just opened up on a new server, and we've just now started to reacquaint ourselves with students that worked with me 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Boot camps are going to fill up. Coaching is going to fill up. We're going to be releasing new trainings, new programs, and the truth is AI is making that possible. I've had 4 books midway through publishing. And thanks to AI, I got one of them ready to go. And I'm even considering, I wrote an internet dating book. Let's see, it was 20 years ago, but it still applies. And the whole dating formula, it's the same. Only when you're looking for a business partner or a customer, it's a lot different. I met my wife on Match.com. We've been married for 26 years. people are doing that. And that has been sitting on the shelf before Labor Day. We're going to be releasing that one. So let me do this. Let me pop back over here. We're going to pop over here to LinkedIn. And I'm going to start it at the other end. Whoops. And let me unmute Stephen. And sometimes they're able to talk and sometimes they're not. Okay, so Stephen, you're an affiliate marketer. Now, you can shoot me a message if you're actively going out looking for people to communicate with. It's all about words, it's all about language. Digital marketer with a conscience. People, you're not going to be the only person on LinkedIn that is looking for business. Let me come down here. Let me unmute Craig. Greg, can you hear me? That might be your, let's try the other one.
I can hear you.
Okay, so we're in a new month, and
Yeah,
you're on a mission.
I am on a mission. I spent a good portion of today. Actually, Max, today was, I mean, this tonight's session is incredible because I've been kind of doing it today, getting my names, looking through people, getting ready when we sit down and do our coaching sessions to make up people who I've dropped, how to go forward. And tomorrow morning, I'm just going to compose it. Actually do it on pen and paper, just for my own. I have an actual notebook, a very sophisticated planner that I've been filling out with and now I'm going to change a little bit about what we talked about tonight.
Well, we'll hook up tomorrow and
Yeah,
we'll lay out the schedule so that you can achieve your goals and break a couple of records in your company.
5 weeks.
Well, every day.
Yep.
You know, I used to, in every boot camp, the goal was always you come out of boot camp with 5 sales. And if you follow the numbers, anybody that's in a boot camp should end up coming out with 5 new team members or customers. And it all comes down to numbers. And in reviewing, we're jamming so much material in the boot camp to incorporate all the different variations and in putting our 30-day game plan together. It occurred to me that, sometimes things, fall by the wayside. So in our upcoming boot camps, we're going back to the process hasn't changed. I mean, as you mentioned, the other day, the same scripts that I was handing out for back in the AOL days, they still work. So now you've got more scripts, you've got more activity, and you got more people to talk to. So
The AOL, what I've been using your ideas for. I become a Claude fan. I spent the $20 a month on it. I can't handle multiple AOL, multiple artificial intelligences. I do Claude. I love Claude, and Claude has been finding me prospects. Claude has been helping me look at prospects. It's been helping me create very specific GIFs. What Claude doesn't really draw, but it says, here's what you do. And so I usually will even use Copilot because actually it isn't too bad on drawing, but Claude will give me, here's the prompt you need to use. And I get the pictures that I want. So this idea of what you've been teaching of using AOL, not having it touch your LinkedIn profile, but I literally have a whole suite right off of it, so I can respond, I can create. It's really and it's so bloody simple. It's not even funny.
I'm looking at a couple of these covers, and we'll talk about it tomorrow because yeah, definitely the whole idea, your profile
Hmm.
is to position yourself to be the person that your prospect would want to talk to. Okay, and do it in a subtle way because your ideal prospect is being hammered. They're being slammed by people that are trying to sell them things. You need to, and that's why, Stephen, got to rework that profile, especially if you're looking to talk and communicate with the people that are going to buy what you're selling. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, in our Money Making Monday webinar, I'm going to dive a little deeper into it. Boot camp starts on Thursday. And for those of you that are new, for those of you that are watching this on Facebook, watching this on LinkedIn or For those of you, the folks in Europe usually catch it on my YouTube channel. All of the sessions are recorded. We're changing some elements to the actual training so that you all get it quicker. For those of you that were in the advanced boot camp, I believe that everything's up, ready, posted, and good to go.
The volume one, the session one is the PDFs is still an MP4 recording. The PDFs aren't up on the first session on the advanced training.
Okay,
Yeah, just small.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll send Brian a note. And anyway, my friends, I don't care what you're marketing. I don't care what you're selling. The people that you want to talk to are waiting to talk to you on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And there are certain elements of AI that you can use without jeopardizing your profiles. But we have to walk a very thin line because that algorithm is watching everything that you're doing. And if you do the wrong thing, you wake up one morning, you try to get into your account, and it'll be shut off. The good news is that we've already helped, I think the number's 11 people that got shut down. We've helped 11 people get reinstated. So if you didn't do that bad of a job, and just reach out to my customer service department, and we'll show you what you have to do to get back in their good graces. So until next time, let me pop back over here. Until next time, best of luck in building your business. If any of you are interested in coaching, just send me a message on LinkedIn. Just type coaching in the chat and send it to me, or write to support@MaxLiner. But if you're serious about building your business, you don't want to miss boot camp. For those of you that have been in boot camps before, it's all changed. So until next time, where to go? Best of luck in building your business, my friends, and God bless.
Back in the 90s, cracked the AOL code. Texting turned gold, now the stories unfold. From dial-up dreams to LinkedIn kings, he taught the world how to build through strings. It's the Max method, no guessing, just growth. 4 steps deep, he's coached them both. Top earners, big burners, trainers, and pros. Max lit the fire, now everyone knows. Part of good smart. Now the blueprint's live. Thousands trained and they multiply. From Facebook chats to LinkedIn leads, he plants the seeds then watches them succeed. Mentor to coach is the guide for the great. Off the speaker shape and fade. You just follow Max, you duplicate. That's how legends elevate. It's the Max method built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. All in the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. So Max method built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. All in the father, the go-to name.